I'm 37 weeks today. This is what the belly is looking like right now. This is my first pregnancy, and so I really didn't know what to expect. When I first found out I was pregnant, I was doing so much research on what happens each week of pregnancy, different symptoms. There are some things that like most people will experience, but at the same time, everyone's experience is so individual. Once I found out that I was pregnant, first of all, there's so many mixed emotions. It's like you're so excited, but you're like, oh my gosh, what are we supposed to do? We called our local OB and scheduled an appointment. I was kind of shocked because I wanted to like see a doctor straight away, you know, just to make sure everything was okay and stuff. But when we called, they were like, okay, we'll schedule you in to come when you're 8 weeks pregnant. So we had to wait almost a month. For the whole first week after I found out, I actually felt like really good, which was so crazy to me because before finding out, I was seeing that a lot of people get really sick, and for me I was like, I'm like 5-6 weeks pregnant and I feel like better than I felt not pregnant. I don't know if it was just the fact that I was excited that we were having a baby that kind of gave me like a little boost of energy. I think it just gave me something exciting to look forward to. So in my mind, I was like, maybe I'm one of those lucky people that's just gonna have it easy. And I completely jinxed myself because literally the next day I suddenly got so sick. Anytime I felt any sort of pain or anytime I didn't feel like I could eat, it just gave me so much anxiety because I still hadn't seen my doctor yet. I feel like if I was able to see my doctor sooner, it would have given me a lot of reassurance. Once I had my 8-week appointment, you know, the doctor was telling me all my symptoms were normal. We checked the baby's heartbeat. Baby was totally fine. So knowing that the baby was healthy and that everything was normal gave me a lot of peace. But then our appointments were like once a month. So I'd have like 4 weeks of Googling my symptoms, trying to reassure myself that everything was okay. There was a nurse hotline that I could call if I did have any concerns, so I did call them a few times just because I was feeling pains and I didn't know if they were okay. I didn't know if the baby was okay. There were also a couple of times where I seriously was not eating at all, and I was so worried about the baby because I couldn't keep any food down. I was so sensitive to smells. Whenever my husband would use his cologne, I could not handle the smell. And anytime he would cook, I tried to cook sometimes, but I seriously just could not do it because I was way too close to the food and to the smells, especially meat, like chicken and beef being cooked. I could not do that. Anytime my husband would cook, we would open all the windows. I would stay by the window trying to breathe some fresh air, but still, it just got to me so bad. My diet was basically like water, ginger ale, saltine crackers, and every so often I could make myself like chicken nuggets, but it had to be like a specific kind or else I just couldn't eat it. Fruits I usually could do. I've never been a huge fan of apples, but ever since being pregnant, I've just loved apples. If I felt like I could eat, then I could normally eat an apple or like an orange, and fruits usually helped me to like feel a little bit better. And that was kind of something that lasted through my whole pregnancy. I need to eat fruits usually before every meal or like right when I wake up if I don't want to like feel sick. A couple other things dealing with food. If I did find something that I could eat, I'd be able to like eat that once and then I couldn't eat it again, which was so difficult because it was already so hard to find things that I felt like I could eat. I really craved like homey foods. I craved my mom's cooking. I went and visited my mom once in my first trimester, and then I think she came up to visit me also during the first trimester. But anytime she cooked anything, I could eat all of it, which was so weird because I'd go back home and I couldn't eat anything again. I was so sick. Like I said before, it was so hard to cook food and smell food, but at the same time, I could go to a restaurant and eat like anything there. And restaurants smell like food, so I don't know why I was okay with that, but I just was. So whenever my husband would come home, he would take me out and we'd go eat something if there was something I felt like eating. But the crazy thing with that too, if we went to a restaurant and I ate something, I also couldn't eat that again. Anything I ate, I could only eat it one time. But towards the end of my first trimester, during the last few weeks, I was like obsessed with blueberry Eggos, which is so weird because I've never really actually eaten Eggos, but I just had this like very specific craving for blueberry Eggos. Pancakes or waffles wouldn't do, like I needed it to be blueberry Eggos. So I would eat those like every day. My nausea was super bad. I tried drinking ginger tea. Aside from that, I didn't take any medicine or try and do anything else for the nausea. I just slept because I had no energy. I was like dead on the couch every single day. There were a few other symptoms that I had that were really weird, like my teeth were super sensitive. I also sweat a lot more, which is kind of nasty. I don't normally sweat, like it takes a lot for me to sweat. I think it was just the hormones changing that really just made me like overheat. I was working a couple different jobs, but when I found out I was pregnant, I immediately quit my main job. I just had to quit. I couldn't get up in the morning, and my boss was really nice about it. He was just like excited for us. But I had another job where I was teaching music lessons, and I didn't quit that one. I was kind of hoping that the tiredness and sickness and nausea would pass after the first trimester, so I didn't want to just quit my job and then not have a job. So I did push through and still teach lessons. I honestly don't know how I did it because I was so exhausted and so nauseous all the time. I also started up a new semester of school, but I took it really easy. I only had 2 classes. The first one was vocal lessons, and the other one I was able to do online. My vocal teacher was really nice and understanding. Like, she had 2 kids herself. Even though the first trimester was like kind of rough, I never missed a single lesson. Singing, I found also really helped with my headaches. So I was actually really glad that I signed up for lessons that semester, because for some reason singing just really helped with my nausea. One thing that I really wanted to do was stay active. Once the first trimester really hit me, I was way too sick to like get up. I tried to do little exercises here and there just at home. Most of the time I just couldn't do it. I felt so sick. Whenever my husband would come home in the evenings, he pretty much every day would take me out and we'd just go walking, either just on a walk outside or we'd go drive somewhere and walk around. I was surprisingly okay whenever we did that. It actually helped me to feel better. I don't know if it was just that particular time of day that I felt okay to get up and walk, or if it was the fact that I wasn't alone. I mean, I definitely think it was because he was there. I think if I had more people around me, people that I'm really close to, I think I would have been a bit more active and felt a lot better. I wanted to share a couple different things that helped me during my first trimester. First of all, walking. When I felt like I could get up and walk, walking just really helped. As soon as I found out I was pregnant, we went and we bought a prenatal and I started taking those. I was really worried with how much I was not eating, but whenever I talked to the doctor, they would always tell me as long as I was hydrated, that the baby was okay. Really, the only person that's gonna be suffering is me, because like I'm exhausted and I'm hungry but I can't eat, and if I eat stuff I throw up. Even if I don't eat stuff I throw up. While obviously I wish I didn't feel that sick, it was comforting to know that regardless of what I ate, as long as I was hydrated, like the baby was gonna get all the nutrients that it needed from me. I think that's also why having a good prenatal is good. Then you know for sure like you're getting those vitamins and the baby's getting them. And that's kind of been a common theme throughout my whole pregnancy. It's like I might be suffering but the baby is okay. Honestly, I feel like there's no cure for the nausea and for just feeling sick. You kind of just have to experience it. It's just a part of the whole pregnancy experience. But there are definitely a lot of things that can help to relieve some of the discomfort, pain, and sickness. For me, what really helped was just water. My doctor also recommended like just any sort of clear fluids, things like Powerade to get like some electrolytes, but mainly water. I also had a lot of like ginger tea. If I was ever experiencing pains, it was really nice to just sit in a warm bath. I also had a heat pad, pretty much slept with that every night. And then I had an ice roller. Depending on how I felt, sometimes I'd use the heat pad, sometimes I'd use the ice roller and like roll it on my forehead or wherever else I felt I needed it. Aside from that, I feel like the best thing that I did was rest when I needed to, take a walk when I felt like I could. I really just had to listen to my body. I was looking at a ton of different pregnancy apps, and my favorite one is this one called What to Expect. They have like week by week videos. They talk about what's happening with baby, with mom. They have a little part where like moms can chat with each other, and And they also have a lot of different like Q&A type things with common questions. They give you like different resources of stuff you can try, stuff that can help with different things. So I've found the app to be really, really helpful since I was pretty much bedridden. There were a few days that I spent just watching every single one of the week by week videos, and it was really nice. It kind of gave me like a nice idea of just, you know, what happens throughout the entire pregnancy. And then of course, as I progressed week by week, I really focused in on the week that I was in. During the first trimester, I didn't think too much about birth, mainly because I spent most of my time sleeping. I've always kind of had a general idea of what I wanted for my birth. It just started to feel a lot more real once I actually was pregnant, that like birth is something that's going to happen. What I focused a lot more on was just my pregnancy week by week. I also focused a lot on like the mental aspect of things, just making sure I was in a good mindset, staying positive. But that was basically my experience with the first trimester. If you're currently in the first trimester, just know that I feel for you. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in my next video.